All right, so we're live here, Stack Hard. I'm with Nonstop Sharia,
Yep.
and we're doing a TNA, basically talking about Slammiversary and everything that transpired this week on TNA. A lot leading into this week's pay-per-view. A lot of feuds that have been going on for months are finally coming to a head, so should be interesting to see.
Yeah, there are a few interesting matches, especially the Full Metal Mayhem. That is one to look forward to.
Yeah. I agree. Definitely the Hardys going at it with weapons involved. And whenever the Hardys have weapons involved, and it's a feud a lot of people disliked because people say that TNA copies WWE, and it's one of the easier targets. Like when people talk about TNA, it's one of those things like, okay, they copy WWE. And I think what TNA has done better than any other wrestling company as of recent is they're pretty much making their own talent. They're finding a lot of independent stars and making them better. I mean, look at Derek Bateman, known as EC3. He came up from NXT. TNA did something with him that WWE wasn't able to. And that's because TNA gave him the freedom that the independent wrestling circuits give you as a wrestler to just be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the roster is pretty full with young talent as of right now. We recently have Cherry Bomb, known as Ali. We have Pepper Parks, known as Braxton. So they just really have all this young talent. We don't really have those top TNA stars anymore, but I think they're doing their thing and they're killing it.
Yeah, I think they're doing. I think they're even doing better because you save a lot if you're looking at from a business perspective. You're saving a lot of money. Also, you have guys like Crazy Steve and stuff. And I don't know about you, but I am one of the biggest fans, if not the biggest fan, of Eli Drake.
I'm loving Eli Drake. I think he's great, and the fact that he is our current King of the Mountain champion, he's doing his thing, and I think he is definitely a big fan favorite. I personally love him, but yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know if you caught on last week's Impact when he cashed in his King of the Mountain briefcase, beat Bram, and then after he had a post celebration. He went backstage. He has champagne and I don't know. It was a quick 20-second thing, but he was just going up to all the people backstage saying, "Okay, yeah, you're stupid. Yep, you're an idiot." And I don't know why, but I found it very entertaining.
It was definitely entertaining. It definitely shows his character, Like I was saying, there's people starving out there, and this guy is celebrating with champagne, throwing it around like it's nobody's business. But I think that was a good thing that TNA added last week. But yeah, and that recent video that they released, I don't know if you've seen it yet, of Eli Drake on top of a mountain.
Yep, I've seen that one.
It was so creative, and I got to give credit to TNA for that.
Yeah, for sure. Just a lot of great stuff coming from that company and whatnot. Now, there has been some speculation involving last week's ending promo. I'm not sure. I'm sure you've seen it. It was Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, the whole let's go to where it all started. And Matt Hardy put Jeff Hardy, well, basically, he slammed him onto a table. The table broke. A lot of people are saying it was, very, very corny and very, very like amateur. The way it was taped, the way it was done. What are your thoughts on that?
I was definitely one of those people who made that comment. But I think, as fans, we do become a bit too critical. But like, I was really critical, as someone who studies film and media. I'm always really interested in seeing how things are filmed and produced. I did find it a bit cringy, but nonetheless, it was still entertaining. But I was not the biggest fan of that video, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it, it certainly beats anything that has happened in a lot of wrestling companies over the past couple of weeks, especially WWE. For instance, okay, well, the Hardys might have did, the segment that everybody thought was corny, but they're getting physical. They're preparing you for their match at the pay-per-view. They are hyping it. They are building that anticipation, basically. And on Raw, I'm not sure if you tuned into Monday Night Raw, but basically Reigns was in the ring with the title. Rollins ran to the ring, pretended like he was going to do something. He didn't. Ran back. Then he ran back to the ring. And that happened for about 10 minutes or so. And then this past week on Raw, we did not even see either one of them. It was just promo videos all night. And just, I don't know what's going on there, but I'm saying in comparison, I have no problem with it,
Yeah, but if you think about it, the Hardys, they're not young anymore. Like, Matt Hardy's 41 years old, and, after that swanton bomb from the heavens from Jeff Hardy, I mean, these guys are still, putting their bodies on the line. They're risking it all, just for our entertainment. So I think we really have to appreciate that and stop being a little too critical as fans.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Matt Hardy is without a doubt at the top of his career, definitely the peak. He's showing that he could do it all. I know me and my podcast partner were talking a few months back, and we were saying like he's somewhat of a JBL in a way. The way, the big money Matt, world champion, he had his family, like JBL had the cabinet back in the day. And he had Rebby, he had Tyrus, Spud, and that whole thing. And just what he was doing on Twitter, too. Because I know there are a lot of people that hate on TNA. And really, if you talk to them and you tell them, if you ask them, what is TNA doing wrong? Most of the time, they cannot come up with a legitimate point. Usually, it's just like, oh, you stupid, they're still around? Oh, they should have been off the air years ago. Well, people have been saying that for at least 5 years now. And I think TNA has gotten even stronger despite what people say.
I mean, they have definitely gotten stronger if you think about it, from Spike to Destination America and now to Pop TV. And, it's just these Dodoli fanboys that need to just be quiet, because it's just like, it's really unnecessary. TNA are doing their thing. And, if you're actually a wrestling fan, you're going to support every promotion out there. You're not going to side with one and attack the other. But it's just the generation we live in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Which match are you looking forward to the most leading into Slammiversary?
Definitely the Full Metal Mayhem and the X Division match. I know it's just a 4-way match, but hey, we have DJ Z, Eddie Edwards, Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, and from what we have seen in these past couple of weeks, they've been doing a great job. So I'm definitely looking forward to the Full Metal Mayhem and X Division match.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I agree. The X Division match is going to be very good, especially since we don't get to see Ultimate X. Will that take place in an Ultimate X match? I'm guessing it would, right?
Well, we had the Ultimate X match, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think fans were really annoyed about, having the Ultimate X just 2 weeks ago rather than having it at Slammiversary. So this is just going to be like an average 4-way match. But yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I went to the TNA Facebook page, and they did say who was facing who. However, they did not specify anything. They said Matt Hyde versus Jeff Hyde, Full Metal Mayhem, but they didn't say like which titles on the line. I mean, basically, they probably assume that for an average viewer like me or yourself that we'd already know. But I'm just wondering if they would, because I did go to Slammiversary a few years ago in Boston. They had it at Boston University. And I remember a few people were in it. I think Manic was in it and whatnot. And it was an Ultimate X match. I think a lot of Slammiversaries have had Ultimate X matches. That's why I'm thinking that's what would take place. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. Should be a good match.
We did have an Ultimate X match at Bound for Glory last year.
Okay.
So we'll see, but it's definitely a 4-way match. But yeah, because I feel like if it was an Ultimate X match, they would have told us. But yeah, it's not. They haven't announced anything about it. But yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's true. I mean, I'm looking forward to definitely a Full Metal Mayhem match. I think that's going to be incredible. Also, the main event, I mean, tap out or knockout. This is truly an MMA fight. It's basically a UFC match without the cage. It's insane. I don't know what's going to happen because I've never really seen anything like it. We have seen last man standing matches. However, just the way it's put, tap out and knock out, there's not much you can do for that. So,
I mean, things would have, I think, if TNA added a steel cage match, it would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a knockout tap out match, so it still sounds really intriguing, and I'm excited to see it. I'm hoping this match is obviously aggressive and kind of violent, so definitely looking forward to it.
I think so, and especially with Bobby Lashley, he comes from an MMA background. Also, Drew Galloway has some experience in that field as well. So, I think both of them are just bringing their elements, and as I said earlier, just TNA gives you that freedom to bring your own character, your own wrestling style that you use in other promotions into their promotion. And I've seen Andrew Everett face Donovan Dijak from Ring of Honor. I've seen Trevor Lee face Brian Fury as well, who's one of New England's hugest wrestlers. And I've seen Eddie Edwards multiple times as well. So the three of them in that X Division match is going to be incredible. What do you think of like the Knockouts division, for instance? Because there is some speculation, people are saying how some things are going well, some things are not. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, let's take the Knockouts champion, for example. I mean, Jade. We don't see her defending her title every week. I mean, this is a Knockouts champion. She should be coming out every week, and to be quite honest, I don't even know if she's playing the face or the heel because we just don't see much of her. So, they got some work to do there, but yeah.
I agree. She's a very good wrestler. Mia Yim, she also wrestled my guest yesterday, Evilise, in China. She ended Evilise's Shine wrestling streak. She's a very good wrestler. I think maybe she's just booked for a lot of events. That's why you're not seeing her every week. It is definitely unfortunate because as Knockouts champion, you should be there every week. And with this new surge of talent, I mean, Sienna, who I'm in love with, I mean, honestly, if she's single, I'm definitely gonna, I'm definitely in love with her. But Gail Kim is still around, and she's a veteran. Like you said, Cherry Bomb and stuff.
Yeah.
So many people.
But I feel like, TNA should really book Jade and Gail Kim together. I think a lot of fans want to see that, and I think, there's so much potential for them as a tag team. If we had a few more Knockouts, maybe we could, introduce the Knockouts tag team titles back again. Who knows? But I really want to see Jade and Gail. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be kind of cool. I was never a big fan of the very powerful, such as, I'm not sure if you remember Havoc.
Yeah, I do.
And Awesome Kong even. I just felt like, maybe there is a certain storyline where they'll play a very good part, is that destroyer and nobody can take them down. And that could work for some storylines. But if you're looking for a really competitive wrestling match. I was never a big fan of that big, powerful style. I just felt like it was always very stiff in the ring. And I feel like right now, at least TNA has a lot of those fast-paced, really just very well technician knockouts on their show.
Yeah, and I think, you know, with all these great technical wrestlers such as Jade and Gail, you know, we could see some awesome matches, but the fact that, you know, every week we're just seeing Maria, Sienna, and Ali attack Gail, it's just getting a bit boring. I want to see wrestling. I don't really want to see, you know, this nonsense, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't blame you for feeling that way also, because it's just like Maria's doesn't wrestle on a regular basis, you know, and she's always played a very good manager, and I don't mind it, but I think if they were to do something the way they're doing it with the whole Maria taking over the Knockouts division, they should have like cut it at Mayhem instead of making it go an extra month. Maybe they could have just had it end there, because the fact that Maria is every week just showing up, and this past week it was very, like I was telling you earlier, it was just a tease basically. They said EC3, Gail Kim faced Mike Bennett and Maria. It was going to be a preview, or so we thought, of what we'd see Sunday. Turns out Maria took Ali, Cherry Bomb, in replacement of her. And so we haven't seen Maria wrestle at all. And I know they're trying to build some suspense there, but it's like she needs to eventually get her hands dirty. The fact that they're having her go out there and say, oh, I don't get my hands dirty, I have these girls do it for me. It's like, so why don't you just be your husband's manager then? Because, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like Slammiversary is so predictable in the sense of Maria and Gail Kim's match. I don't expect Maria to do anything. I feel like she's going to get someone else to do her dirty work, which is a shame, because I really want to see good knockouts wrestling. But then again, we shall see. Who knows? She might wrestle.
Oh, she's a pretty good wrestler. I have seen her, and she's very good at wrestling. It's just, will she do that? That's the thing. Like you said, Ali could get involved. Ali does not have a match that night, so that could happen. As for Sienna, I'm looking forward to Sienna versus Jade. I think what they're going for with the Gail Kim and Maria, they want it to be like good in a sense of storyline, because the Gail Kim and Maria thing has been going on for a while. With the Sienna and Jade thing, it's more of like, that's, as far as wrestling goes, that's probably going to steal the show for the knockouts, you know? So one will be good for story purposes, one will be good for just wrestling purpose. That's why I think they put two female matches on the card.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And I'm glad that, you know, TNA did confirm that we will be seeing a Knockouts Championship match, because for a while we didn't really know if we were going to see this. But I feel like, you know, at every pay-per-view, every title should be on the line. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see Jade and Sienna. I think we'll see some brilliant wrestling, like you just said. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Also, let me just go through. I think there were a few matches that were recently added too.
Yeah.
That people might not know of, but Braxton Sutter, also known as Pepper Parks, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be wrestled to be determined. So he might just face another like local wrestler like he did this past week. Might be a squash match. It'll probably open up Slammiversary, I'm guessing, or it might be that match in between, right before the big match, you know. I was very impressed. I've seen a lot of his stuff in the independent scene also. You know, what he did this past week, even though he kind of squashed the guy, he showed off his move set a little bit. And I think, you know, with the right person in the ring, obviously, he could be a big threat. for the King of the Mountain title. I could see him going for that. Even the X Division title. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, I liked how TNA were focusing on his journey in wrestling and how, you know, he's came so far. And I really liked how at the end of the match, you know, JB spoke to him and how, you know, he said he's humbled by this opportunity. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see more from him.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, if you could pick the most entertaining thing that you've found in the past month on Impact, what would you say other than the Hardys? Who you think has developed the most as far as entertaining to watch?
I think everyone will agree, and that is the Decay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, I can just watch them for hours. They are so comfortable in, you know, their gimmick, and everybody wants to see them. Everybody loves them, and I think TNA are doing one hell of a job with them. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Decay.
I have to agree with you. I do love EC3 though. EC3 is awesome. I did like what they did with the whole Michael Bennett cleaning the bathrooms thing a couple of weeks ago, and Earl Hebner told Mike Bennett. It was funny that Earl Hebner made an appearance in that segment because he's like, "Oh, come on, jackass!" Because Mike Bennett had to go referee a match. He had to do all three things in one night, so that was kind of cool. Ref, wrestle, and clean bathrooms. I must say, yeah, I mean, the Decay has been very good, and I think they'd be very good as far as selling merchandise too. I'm not sure if they have too much merchandise out, but say if like, you know how the Wyatts have like the sheet mask and all those type of things. Those are huge marketing, coming from like a marketing perspective, because I study business. The Decay, I mean, they could make a good amount of money off that, you know, and kind of find a way for the fans to be involved with them in a way, such as like when the Wyatts come out, everybody takes their lights out, you know, and it's like they wave their phones or whatever. It would be cool if they could do that, but the Decay are still heels, and they're facing the Bromans and Raquel, who was also Gabby on Tough Enough last summer. So that should be a really good match.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I like the Decay are dark, they're creepy, and you know the Bromans are just full of life. So I'm not a big fan of this contrast. And I would like the Decay to stick with, you know, other people who are more dark and creepier. But then again, we don't have many of those darker characters in TNA. But it's still going to be entertaining. I'm kind of interested in whether or not Raquel is going to wrestle, because in the promo pictures we do see her in her ring gear, but I'm not sure if she's actually going to wrestle or if she's just going to be out in ringside.
Well, it says on the Wikipedia page, it says with Rosemary Decay and with Raquel. So I'm not, yeah, if it's for the tag titles, they'll just be ringside.
But I'm still expecting Rosemary to I don't know, either use a mist or something, because yeah, she doesn't back down.
Of course. No, I mean, see, the reason why I say it's going to be exciting, and I disagree with you on that, is because it's good. It's good for the Decay because you're taking, like you said, such a dark team and you're putting them up against such a light and happy team. And I think Jesse Goddard has definitely improved in the ring. His drop kick, his gorilla press, just his speed in general. This past week on Impact in that 10-man tag match, he really impressed me. I think out of everyone, also the Tribunal impressed me a lot, and we'll get to that later. Yeah, I mean, Jesse Goddard, Robbie E, they've definitely improved in the ring. And they've had some funny skits backstage. I think in this case, opposites attract. You have to make the darker, more evil faction go up against these light, happy factions. For instance, even though they're not such a great tag team, and I don't really like them at all, Mahabali Shera and Grado, I wouldn't mind seeing the Decay face them. Not at Slammiversary, no. If you're looking for a good wrestling match, no. But on Impact, I would love to see these dark, mystifying characters take on these like happy-go-lucky people. And I would just, because the more these darker teams destroy these lighter teams, the more darker those teams become, and that's why, I mean, look at how the Decay, built, their legacy so far. They've attacked Beer Money, who is a fan favorite, the Wolves, fan favorite. And so I think the bromance, if they just went out there and had a great match, and then in the end, who knows, maybe after the match, if the Decay wins, maybe they could attack, Robbie E or something, or chain him to the ropes and maybe beat him with a kendo stick or something. You know what I mean?
Get Janice out.
Yeah. It's weird. What are your thoughts on Janice, actually? Because they always take Janice out. I don't know if it's ever been used in the past, 5 years.
I'm sure it has. I remember when Bram and Abyss had their feud, and they were feuding against Janice. So it was quite used in that storyline. I'm a big fan.
Did anybody get hit with it though?
I think this was last year, I think, or it was a while back now. I think so. I can't really remember, but I'm a big fan of Janice. Gotta love Janice. Come on.
Yeah, no, I do too. I like Janice a lot. I just wish it was used more. It's kind of unfortunate that they don't use her at all. If they use her, it's like, okay, here comes Abyss swinging Janice, and it just goes into the turnbuckle every time. So I kind of miss if they could do with the Decay what they did with Abyss's character with James Mitchell, I believe, back in the day. I think Abyss set Sting on fire in 2006 or something. Do you remember that at all?
I think slightly. I must have been 10 or 11 back then.
Gee. Yeah, I 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going into high school. Yeah, it was my freshman year of high school, so I was 14 at the time. It was insane. I like that feud a lot. And do you ever go back now and watch Abyss and Sabu and Rhino and all those crazy matches they used to have?
Definitely. It's just so entertaining to see how hardcore those matches were, and in comparison to what we have now, it's definitely interesting going back. But those good old days. Hopefully, we can see some more hardcore matches. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, because that's one thing I've always liked about TNA, is that they've always had the ability to do it all. They've always had the knockouts and that hardcore style wrestling. Then they've had the X Division style, which is more fast paced. And then you have your world champions, and then you have your legends who were being brought in from time to time. And that was really cool, because that kind of gives you a sense of nostalgia. So just having all this stuff on one show every week was always very exciting. And I feel like we still have that. Yeah, some things can be improved, but everything can always improve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm just excited to see, how TNA progresses. But yeah.
I mean, you actually have a video on it. What happens to TNA now that SmackDown goes to Tuesday night?
Yeah, I think you'll have those loyal TNA fans that will definitely, stick with TNA regardless of, you know, what else is on TV. But I definitely think, you know, TNA need to step up their game. And, you know, come on. You're going to have SmackDown. It's a WWE product. You're going up against a WWE product. You got to be something special in order to get those ratings.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, so are you thinking that TNA should switch nights? Maybe go back to Thursday night?
I think they just have such a history of switching days. Like, you know, so I don't know. I think, you know, TNA should just evaluate, you know, like, are the ratings increasing, are they decreasing, what's happening? And then I think they should come to a conclusion, and
yeah,
they need to.
I definitely agree. I feel like it's a weird thing with TNA because they have the talent. They're putting on great shows. I think Dixie Carter is a great leader. They have good writers. I mean, there are, like I said, some things, you know, like we were talking about Jade not being there every week, and Knockouts champion. The X division, yeah, those 4 guys are very explosive, but it doesn't feel like the X division is showcased as much. And if you have these incredible talent, which I think 4 of the best wrestlers on the card that they have on their roster, they should showcase the X division more. But regardless of that, I think they're doing an incredible job. I'm not sure what the problem is with TNA. It could be since that Hogan whole thing, was it 2011 or so, they paid a lot of money, brought in a lot of these guys, and it just gave them a bad reputation, you know, and then they lost Spike, which is a very well-known network, went to Destination America. Their ratings aren't that bad. They were still one of the highest rating shows on Spike when they got booted. The reason why is because ad revenue. You know, you need to bring in ad revenue as well, and they just weren't doing it. And a lot of people see TNA as this bad reputation, and it's sad because if people actually watch it and like clear their minds of, oh yeah, their mistakes in the past. I mean, arguably from 2008 to 2011, WWE had its worst years ever. I'm not sure if you watched at that time, WWE.
I did used to watch WWE back then. But I think the problem with TNA is it's just all about product awareness, you know. Get your wrestlers out there, you know, get them in magazines, get them on the TV. I think it's so important to expose yourself and, you know, really get in these casual fans. So I think that's what TNA really needs to work on.
Yeah. No, merchandise as well. You know, I know that they have to do their plug for Pop TV. What's it called? Schitt's Creek? Is it that comes on after Impact? I know Josh Matthews always says also it's always during a Knockouts match too. He's like, also, if you haven't seen it after tonight's Impact, check out Schitt's Creek, you know.
Yeah.
They could do that with their merchandise, you know, give a merchandise plug. Or for instance, I'm not sure if you knew this, but on Memorial Day that just passed, Monday, everything on Shop TNA was 25% off. Well, why didn't anybody mention anything on the broadcast? I watched TNA. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything.
But then again, I don't feel like they have such cool merchandise. Probably that's just me. But like, you know, you have the Decay, you know, get all these awesome t-shirts out, you know. I mean, when I go on the TNA Euro store, because I'm here in the UK, and you know, they don't really have much merchandise on there. So, you know, they have like t-shirts of, you know, the older stars who are no longer even with the company, and it's just like, where are all the t-shirts for like the newer guys like the Decay and such? But yeah, they really need to just work on some merchandise and, you know, promote it.
I agree. I I don't know how it works from a business standpoint, but a lot of these guys that wrestle for TNA are independent contractors. So they wrestle events a lot of events that we go to actually. And a lot of them have shops on this website called prowrestlingtees.com. I don't know. Have you been on it before?
Yep, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice because you can get their merchandise. However, TNA, I don't believe, is making profit off it. So if they could come to some kind of agreement with the wrestlers and be like, hey, could you sell, would you mind selling your stuff on ours and we'll give you this much, and kind of come up with some kind of numbers to split the revenue, that would be very ideal. I mean, for instance, if you're a fan of NXT, I mean, why go to WWE.com and pay $25 for a Samoa Joe shirt? You could get it for $4.50 at ShopTNA.com. You could get all your favorite NXT merchandise. They have an AJ Styles banner for the wall for $2.50. Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, Eric Young, Bobby Roode. There, you could get a shirt for $4. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear what you're saying, but who knows? Maybe some cool merchandise is in the works. So yeah, we shall see.
Yeah, definitely. With the bromance too, I feel like they could come up with some cool stuff for that as well, like Robbie E's hair,
yeah.
I don't know, stuff.
Or
like
even
that.
like his new mask. How cool would that be? If they were selling those masks.
Yeah, DJ Z's mask is very cool. I'd probably buy one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always trying to support TNA, and I like the Impact Wrestling shirts too. They have a white one and a black one. It just says Impact Wrestling. I want to buy it because I want to support the brand, but it's also $25 just for a plain shirt with the logo. There's not much else to it. So, yeah, I know what you mean as far as lack of merchandise. That could be a big improvement. And I'd just like to see their reputation build, because like me and you watch this every week. We're huge fans. I mean, we wouldn't be here doing a review if we weren't fans. So we're not trying to bash them. We're just trying to pick out these points that I feel like haven't been addressed, and that's the way fans should do it. I think there's a way to be critical, and then there's a way to be disrespectful. And a lot of these fans are very disrespectful. They go on to Twitter pages and put things out in public. And I mean, it's not right, For instance, I did see on TNA, ImpactWrestling.com. It was ImpactWrestling.com. You know how they're selling the Slammiversary package?
Yeah.
The VIP package. So at the top, there's a link that says tickets. I click tickets, and it's like, pages not available.
Yeah.
Aren't you trying to sell VIP tickets? I mean, I don't know. I think the website was really good the way it was before. I know that they're trying to evolve with times and make it like just simpler. Same thing with WWE. They changed their website design as well. But it's just pictures and videos, and it just scrolls on for days and days and days. It's not, I miss that old, I mean, if you go to the statcard.com, which I recommend everybody to do, you could see my wonderful web design work. I mean, I just put a few things on the sidebars, and then I put our main things in our slideshow. That's it. You don't need to over glorify people. You just need some links that lead to the basic things: podcast, guest, contact. I don't even think TNA has a contact button anymore, because I did back in the day, I went to their careers and I went to send them an email for careers. It's not there anymore. If there's an error with the website, there's no email that you can email saying, hey, your link is broken or this image doesn't work, you know, like there's no one to contact. So that's another big problem. But
yeah, they really need to work on the website, you know, just really make it visually creative, but then also simple, so, you know, fans can just use it. And like you said, you know, you didn't even get the tickets because it said not found. But yeah, they need to work on the website for sure.
I think another thing, probably the third and last thing, other than, you know, the shop, the website, also I think for the third thing is charity. I think if TNA was to get involved with more charity work and whatnot, that would spread brand awareness. It would bring a positive awareness to your brand, especially with what's been going on. Now, like I said, I know a lot of these guys are independent contractors, but if TNA could come up with the sum of money and just be like, hey, look, we'll give you this to go out and do this. And you know what I mean? It could be really good brand awareness.
Yeah, and that's something WWE are really good at. Like, their superstars are always out there. But yeah, TNA should definitely consider that. And yeah, and especially because they have a lot of time, you know, they do all their tapings within like 3 days or something, and they have this, like, they have so much days, you know, like, do something with those days. But yeah, another thing they could work on.
Of course, yeah. I mean, and if they do charity events, even if it has nothing to do with TNA, let's say EC3 goes to like a homeless shelter and helps out kids or whatever, they should, even though it's not like a special, officially like TNA sponsored, they should, I mean, acknowledge it on their program and stuff. You know, I think that could be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, for instance, Sienna, EC3, Spud, and Eli Drake, they all went down to Mexico for the Lucha, was it the Lucha Libre Cup this past weekend? So, I mean, that's awesome too, to get them out in Mexico. And
I think that was pretty cool, but I would have preferred if they used more of like the top stars, like Gail Kim, rather than Cherry Bomb and Sienna, just because they are new talent. Whereas, you know, Gail Kim has a great reputation. You know, she's been with TNA for so long. She's, you know, pretty much the heart and soul of the Knockouts division. But I think they did a great job with, you know, sending Eli Drake and EC3 to Mexico.
well, I think that's the thing too. Why they sent Eli Drake, Tyrus, because these guys are probably the future of the company. And when I see Sienna and Cherry Bomb outside of TNA, so far Allie in TNA hasn't seemed to be getting that push that she could get. I mean, when I look at that collective group, I see the future of TNA. And so I think instead of putting Matt Hardy, Gail Kim, names that are already, I mean, out there, instead of doing that, send your future, you know, get your future noticed. And I think it was cool. I mean, also, we don't know, maybe Gail Kim wasn't available. Maybe it wasn't up to TNA who they were going to send. Lucha Libre could have invited a certain class of superstars. Who knows? But yeah, I thought it was very cool. And I don't know if you've seen on the YouTube channel, EC3, Spud, Tyrus, and Eli Drake, they made a spoof of the Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy promo from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I enjoyed that parody so much. I think it was such a great thing that they did. And, you know, they did it all on their own. So I hear. But yeah, I think that was really funny. And I think the fans are totally digging it.
For sure. Just Eli, I mean, the fact that EC3 had the roll, like strip of toilet paper hanging over the top of his head, basically, you know, portraying Matt Hardy's white streak. That alone was just hilarious. And the fact that, who was it? Did Tyrus throw Spud?
Yeah. He was playing Rubby Sky. I think that was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss Tyrus definitely as the babysitter for Maxwell.
Yeah.
Very funny. But Tyrus has shown a great improvement as well for what he's been doing. He had a last man standing match with DC3. He was in that ladder match, him and Spud against Jeff Hardy. And he had that world title match with Drew Galloway.
Yeah. Going back to that ladder match, it was quite, you have Tyrus, this big guy, and then you have Spud, this tiny guy, bipolar opposites. But I just feel like, Tyrus should just do his own thing on his own. Because I love him on the mic. But yeah, that's what I think about Tyrus. But yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So where would you see Spud? Possibly X Division or?
I think Spud would be great in the X Division, but I feel like, right now TNA have made it crystal clear that, we have DJZ, Eddie Edwards, Trevor Lee, and Andrew Everett in the X Division. But I think Rockstar, Spud, and Mandrews together would be great as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, also in the X Division. But yeah. That
would be really cool. I mean, it would be fun to see Mandrews and Spud team up, but then you got to look at your tag champions. How would they wrestle against Abyss? I don't really see their style working too well with Abyss, because Abyss is more powerful. It's going to be hard to take him down.
I think it would definitely be difficult to take him down because, of course, he is dominant. But, I think Mandrews and Rockstar Spud together, double teaming up, and doing all their technical stuff. I don't know, it could be quite entertaining to watch.
It could. And I'm thinking for Spud, a good position for him. Do you follow him on Snapchat at all?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. So he's just a very funny person.
Yeah.
Very funny and he brings a lot of entertainment.
Yeah. And that's my homeboy over there. We're both from the same city. So, yeah.
Which city is that?
Birmingham.
Oh.
Yeah, in England.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I could see Spud in a good role, such as, let's say he managed DC3, world champion. Managed Matt Hardy, world champion. Everybody he's managed has become world champion. So was he managing Magnus as well, right? Dixie, a few years back, I think Dixie, Spud, they were managing Magnus, right?
Yeah, he was a chief of staff. But I kind of want to see Spud on his own. I want to see this reckless, bad boy, rebellious Spud. Because, he plays the character so well. And, even when he's just in the background, and the camera's not on him, he still gives, his all. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see Spud on his own, doing his thing, being reckless.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like to see him do that and somehow find a way to balance. I think TNA, and I think we got a little dose of it couple of weeks ago with EC3. EC3 ran the show. It was pretty funny. And the fact that they paid attention to the general manager for the night was very cool. It wasn't like Stephanie and Shane come out and then you don't see them for another hour and a half. You actually saw EC3 cutting segments throughout the night. I think if Spud could maintain his wrestling career and work in the X division, like you said, the tag team division, but he could also, let's say, run the show. I mean, he managed everything else so well. I could see him being a good manager. I would like to see TNA with an on-screen general manager.
Yeah, I think, Dixie manages a lot of the stuff most of the times. But, yeah, it was really interesting to see Ethan, kind of managed the show last week, and I think the fans were loving it because, of course, Ethan is very popular. But it would be quite interesting to see Spud. I don't know how I would feel about it, but Yeah, it'd be one hell of an episode of Impact Wrestling if Spud kind of took the lead.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's always one thing with TNA too. It's like, well, Al Snow, when he attacked Grado, which I guess we could dive into this in a second. I mean, when Al Snow attacked Grado and broke his hand, right? The one who penalized him was Billy Corgan. But the one who makes a lot of the matches, like, is Dixie Carter. She's the one who, I believe, put EC3 in charge. So who's in charge? Because there's Billy Corgan, there's Dixie. I mean, I kind of wish we had that on-screen general manager to really put the show in a direction. Maybe like a Paul Heyman or Eric Bischoff or somebody who would just, I mean, we've been down that road with Eric Bischoff, but maybe not give him full control, just on-screen manager like WWE did. That would be really cool.
Yeah, we also, a few years ago, we had a VP for the Knockouts division. And right now, Maria is playing the leader of the Knockouts division, but we can't really take her seriously, of course. But I think we really need that authority figure, to give us some good matches.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I mean, speaking of, well, I don't know if it's really a good match. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Tribunal do. It's Basil Baraka and Baron Dax, I believe. Yeah. They're going to face Mahabali Shera and Grado.
You seem so happy when you say that.
Oh, no. I was just looking at the viewers. I think we lost about all of our viewers.
Go up.
No, I'm just joking because, anytime people hear Mahabali Shera and Grado, I mean, I'd probably close out of the screen too, So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I love Al Snow. Let me say this. I think they can develop the Tribunal very well, and Al Snow is at the peak of his career, basically. Maybe not. I mean, he's doing well in the ring. He's a trainer. With person we interviewed, Aiden O'Shea, they work at the Al Snow Academy. And he's just a very good character. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably absolutely hate what's going on between those teams.
Yeah, no, love Al Snow. He's definitely entertaining. Love him on the mic. I'm not looking forward to this match. I'm not. Are we really going to see some good wrestling from Grado and Mahabali Shera? They're just there for entertainment purposes. And to me, it doesn't, I don't know, the match just doesn't appeal to me. So I'm just not looking forward to this match at all. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I agree. But I am looking forward to seeing what the Tribunal do, because honestly, I could see them being one of the top tag teams in TNA. And honestly, say if the Bromans do win the title or a face team does win the title down the road, the Tribunal probably won't chase the tag titles maybe for a while. I see them kind of being like henchmen for now. But I could see, let's say when Davey Richards comes back, to fantasy book a little bit, the Wolves versus the Tribunal. That's the future of TNA tag division.
Yeah, I know the Tribunal, they were NXT. I don't really know much about them, but I do get a kind of like aggressive kind of vibe from them, and I feel like they could be a pretty cool tag team if we're talking about them feuding with Eddie Edwards and Davey. So yeah, I'm intrigued by them, but yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we'll see them take on the team of Santino Marella and the Great Khali at Slammiversary. Oh, wait. No, that was another, basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You got like that big stiff wrestler, and then you got that like comedy act little guy. I must say though, Grado did have a really good ladder match with Eli Drake.
Did he? When was this?
Oh man. So you remember how Eli Drake switched the briefcases?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what they did, they had a ladder match, and whoever won that match, like if Eli Drake won, Grado's gone, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Grado's career was on the line. But Grado obviously won, but I really enjoyed that match. I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
I obviously didn't enjoy it enough to remember it, but yeah.
That's funny. So yeah, if you want, we could go through predictions.
Yeah, let's go on with that.
Okay, sounds good. Wow, you got a lot of text. Oh wow, my podcast partner Kevin, he's watching the TNA show live on YouTube. Nice work so far. I love the plant.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I figured the plant would be very cool. Just a nice little decoration to talk about Slammiversary,
Yeah.
I'm sure if Dean Ambrose was around, he'd appreciate the effort. Okay, so I don't know. Let's just start. Oh man, where do we start? We can't really make a prediction for Braxton Sutter. I mean, or we can. He's probably just going to win if his opponent has not been decided.
Yeah, I think whoever he's against, he'll definitely win because there's a lot of emphasis on him and his journey in TNA. So, yeah.
Tribunal versus Grado and Mahabali Shera. Oh.
I'm going to go with your favorite tag team, Mahabali Shera and Grado. Because I feel like if they win, it will just develop the feud between them and Al Snow. So I'm going to go with them.
Oh, I'm going to need a puke bucket. Okay, I'm going to go with the Tribunal because I think Al Snow is going to cost Shera and Grado the match. And that will continue the feud. Because it's like, oh, you beat us, but you beat us with that buddy at your ringside. So why don't you face us, I don't know, without Al Snow,
Yeah.
So I say, I mean, I don't know. I just, why would you have this, like, terrible tag team, Grado and Shera, be the future tag team of your company? These guys were in NXT. You don't take like Bayley, put her on your show, and then have her lose her debut match.
Yeah, get what you're saying.
But Mahabali Shera and Grado have every single week they've just been getting beat down. They haven't had the upper hand at all in this feud. So I do kind of know what you're saying. They could make a little bit of
They just be the underdogs. Who knows?
Yeah. Usually the person who has the upper hand before the pay-per-view ends up losing. So that's why I would go with Grado and Shera, but I don't see it happening. I say a Tribunal win. All right. So then we got Gail Kim versus Maria.
I'm going to go with Maria. This match to me just seems a bit too predictable. I feel like Maria's going to get her minions to do her dirty work, which is a shame because I just want to see Maria wrestle in TNA. So I'm going to go with Maria.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I think Maria takes this one for sure. Because I think they're going to have a balance. They're going to have one heel win and one face. So, yeah, I say Maria win as far as the knockouts matches go. So I'd say Maria takes that win. And, yeah, I mean, she's newer to the company too. And Gail Kim, it's not going to be like, oh, Gail Kim just lost, I mean, she's going to get screwed, with with Maria Havinelli and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I said in my prediction video too, I feel like you can't have a pay-per-view without Gail, so Gail just has to be there. So yeah.
No, I agree. Which leads me into the next Knockouts match. It's going to be Jade versus Sienna for the Knockouts title. Who do you think takes this one?
I'm going to go with Sienna purely because we haven't seen Jade. Is there really much emphasis and focus on her being our champion? No, and some would argue it's too soon for Sienna to become the Knockouts champion, but she's just so powerful, so dominant, and I feel like she's so comfortable in her character. Whereas I just feel like Jade is kind of confused. Is she playing the heel? Is she playing the face? What are you giving me right here? But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sienna.
Very interesting. Since I picked Maria to win, over Gail Kim, I think Jade will take it. Jade is an incredible wrestler, in the independent scene. She's very well known. Sienna is as well. However, Jade finally just got the opportunity. Although they haven't done much with her having this opportunity, they've just kind of honestly, she's on as much as Marty Bell and Rebel, and I kind of feel bad for Marty Bell and Rebel because honestly, they could have used them right now because they have the Maria, Sienna, and Allie. If they had Rebel and Marty come out and help Jade, that's 3-on-3. That would work. But yeah, so I think they could have done that. Yeah, I think Jade keeps it though.
Yeah.
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 But
I feel like they could have, Marty and Rebel kind of feud with Jade, especially since Jade kind of left the dollhouse. We could have seen that storyline, but nope.
Yeah, that didn't work out. I love Rebel too. Not as much. Sienna is my wife for life, but Rebel, she's a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader as well. I'm a huge fan of the Cowboys, so she's I really like to see her wrestle again as well. What I thought was weird, and one thing about TNA, I don't know how you feel, is sometimes since they are independent contractors, these wrestlers, sometimes they just fall right out of the scene. For instance, Brooke Adams. With the internet nowadays, you can assume that us fans know that she left. But she was on top of the Knockouts division for the longest time. All of a sudden, she stopped showing up. I didn't find out until February when I searched, where is Brooke Adams? And I have her on Facebook too. She's pregnant, by the way. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, she left in November. Well, I didn't know because we had the don't get me started. I'll ask your opinion in a minute, but yeah, that's it's crazy with the whole people coming and going unannounced. There's no they're not killing them off the show. They're not doing a formal farewell for those people that don't show up.
But we did recently have Velvet Sky get fired, So I get it. They don't always do that, but it would be nice to, get the opportunity to just, see these wrestlers for the last time or whatnot.
Yeah. For instance, Tigre Uno did re-sign with them. He signed a new contract. But, he lost the title to Trevor Lee in that cage match. Okay, so where the hell has he been? He doesn't want his title back, I guess.
I'm not sure if he was healing or if he had an injury or something. That could be, yeah, I don't know. But I think he had injury or something. I'm not completely sure on that, but yeah, that could be the issue.
Well, see, it would be nice, like, how WWE always mentions when someone gets injured and they do a little promo package saying, oh, like Triple H in the gym, 2002, running on a treadmill with U2 playing in the background. It would be nice if they did something with Tigre Uno saying, like, yeah, when I come back, I'm taking my title back. And, I mean, at least give us something, and then we don't have to see him for months. He could just randomly show up as a surprise and attack that, Trevor Lee, Everett, and Helms.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. But who knows? We may just see Tigre Uno make a surprise return.
That's true. That's true. And so while I was thinking about it, I'll go to the dark days of TNA and just take a step away from our predictions. What were your thoughts on that whole title series? I thought it was one of the worst things TNA could have done.
The world title series that they just recently did?
Yeah, I think it lasted from like August to November or December until, yeah, oh my God, horrific. What did you think about that?
I just liked how they got Awesome Kong and Gail Kim involved. I really appreciated that as a woman, the female. I really appreciated that, but I wasn't too keen on it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, especially because you knew like a lot of those guys were leaving, and it wasn't a show anymore. It was just like 5 matches. Although I did like seeing the athletic ability of some of the wrestlers. I think that's something they could use. Following Slammiversary, once these feuds simmer down, I think they could use more lengthy one-on-one matches like they do on Raw with Cesaro and Owens. And I don't think Raw is the greatest thing. Don't get me wrong. I fall asleep. I fast forward. I just, sometimes it's really bad. But I think TNA could use that. I think they could use like a good 25-minute match, not, and I think that's the problem because a lot of these predictions we're making, it's like, okay, Al Snow could get involved in that tag match. Allie could get involved in the Maria match. It's just like there's someone to get involved in every single feud, and it sucks because you want to see a good one-on-one fair match. You're sick of seeing like Bobby Lashley come out and spear the Decay on accident and like, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on all of that.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, it just becomes so predictable. It's not exciting. Come on, as fans, we're not like emotionally invested into the match because we kind of know someone's going to come out and, so yeah, I definitely get what you're saying and I agree with you.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go into that X division. Who do you think wins that between Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, DJZ, and Eddie Edwards?
I'm going to go with Eddie Edwards. There's been so much focus on Eddie Edwards doing his thing on his own, and he's been doing great on his own. And I think he has what it takes to be the X Division champion. And I feel like, there may just be some sort of miscommunication between Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett, like we have seen in a past Impact Wrestling episode. So I think that will cost Trevor Lee to retain his title. So I'm going to go with Eddie.
Yeah, I might have to go with you on that one. I mean, Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards could be returning soon. However, he did have that injury. He did have a baby, him and Angelina Love, I believe. So he could be taking some time off. DJZ, he's great. He's phenomenal, actually. I'd like to see more of him, but I just don't feel like he's been, what's the word for it?
He hasn't been so heavily involved in any storylines. So, he's just been coming out, like this week he came out to help out Eddie Edwards when Andrew Everett came and interrupted. So, I mean, he could have a feud with like Andrew Everett. Andrew Everett is great, by the way. He's so great. I mean,
he is. Yeah. I mean, Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Basically, like Eddie Edwards, we seen him in the main event when it was TNA versus Global Force Wrestling. We've seen Eddie Edwards really as a pioneer for this company's future. So I think having Eddie Edwards win would be ideal. We've also seen Gregory Helms trying to get Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett to work together. He's like, come on, guys, don't lose focus. The title is the goal. And I don't know if Gregory Helms will be able to do that at the pay-per-view. Maybe Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett will just start feuding together.
Yeah. Or maybe Davey Richards would come and like attack Shane Helms. Who knows?
That's true. That's true, because he wouldn't have to wrestle a match. He could just come out now and be kind of like his partner's support.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, yeah, I'd go with Eddie Edwards as well. Then we go into Eli Drake versus Bram.
I'm going to go with Eli Drake. There's been a lot of focus on Eli Drake. And, he's so great as the champion. Everyone loves him. And, I mean, this guy, he's the it factor. Come on. He's so entertaining. So I'm going to go with Eli Drake.
I agree. I think Eli Drake's going to win. I think it's weird because I don't see him winning cleanly either. And because we've never really seen Bram get beat, really. I mean, he has lost matches, but it's always been DQ or some kind of shenanigans. He hasn't really been like pinned fairly 1, 2, 3 without weapons involved or anything.
Yeah. And it's sad because he is a heel, so I don't see him winning clean anyways.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, he probably won't win clean, but yeah, I'd go with Eli Drake as well. I think he's just been doing a lot of great stuff, and I wish I had a dummy yeah button.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. So then there is the Decay versus the Bromans. I think the Decay win it. It's the same reason for Eli Drake. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Decay. I don't see. I just don't see the Bromans winning. I'm sorry, but I definitely see the Decay retaining their titles, and I'm just so excited to see the match.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to be a really good match. I'm interested mostly to see what happens between Rosemary and Raquel.
Yeah, I don't know if you have Raquel on Snapchat, but she does a lot of jiu-jitsu training.
Oh, she has a Snapchat?
Yeah.
That's great. I'm going to add that. That's But every guy watching this podcast, you all just got informed with some great news. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find that. Do you know Snapchat name for her?
Yeah, I'll give you at the end of the video.
Okay. Well, if you guys want her Snapchat, I'm sure it's on her Instagram, right?
Yeah, it must be for that.
So. Yeah, I mean, definitely go check out her Snapchat. I'm sure she's got great stuff there, Just got a call from New Hampshire. Interesting. You know where New Hampshire is, right?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Really?
What is it? What?
It's like a state in the United States.
Okay, yes.
You've heard of like Massachusetts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because the thing is I'm really bad geography.
Yeah.
So I couldn't name you like what is a country in England. England's a country, right?
Yep, it is.
Okay. I don't want to look stupid. Yeah, but honestly, like geography is my worst. I did really well this past semester with like calculus and stats. I do well in business.
Yeah.
But just, man, geography, like I was like, oh, I was talking to my friend about Venezuela because I knew a friend down there. And I was like, oh, she lives in this city. And he's like, city? Venezuela is not a city. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm learning, but that's pretty cool because it's weird. Because if you look at it, like North America is basically like a country. It's basically the US.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then when you look at Europe, there's like different countries within one continent.
Yeah.
There's not many that different countries in North America. So
wait, how did we go from talking about predictions to geography?
I don't know. This usually happens on the stat card. I don't know if you tune in weekly, but
I think you guys do some awesome interviews. I still don't know how you guys stand for that long.
Yeah, I don't even know either. But it's a great time. I don't know. We go from subject to subject, you know, try to relate to people as much as we can through wrestling and outside of wrestling. You know, we make some jokes. Got to have fun with it too, you know. So it's always good. But we'll get back to wrestling. Did you find out if Gabby's Snapchat was on her Instagram, by the way?
It may just be.
I
haven't checked, but it might just be there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume it's there. So everybody go check that out, especially you fellas watching. So yeah, you take the Decay then?
Yep, I'm gonna go with the Decay.
Okay. I'm with you on that. I'll take Decay as well. Then, oh wow, we're down to our last three matches. So Mike Bennett and EC3. What happens here?
I'm gonna go with EC3. Yes, the miracle Mike Bennett, you know, ended the streak, but I still think, you know, the undisputed Ethan Carter III will win.
Yeah, I'd say EC3 as well. Definitely. EC3 he needs to get that revenge since losing. I haven't really seen him pick up any huge victories one-on-one. I mean, he did beat Tyrus and whatnot, but he hasn't faced anybody like Drew Galloway or Lashley. He hasn't picked up any victories like that. So in that match with Matt Hardy and in DQ, I think, right? Was that last week? A couple of weeks ago, maybe?
Probably, yeah. I can't remember right now.
Yeah, he faced Matt Hardy. And, I mean, yeah, we just haven't seen him pick up a big victory in a long time. And for somebody who was undisputed and undefeated for that long, it's kind of weird. I think he needs to win this one.
Yeah.
All right, then it is. Should we go into the Hardys or should we do the world title?
We can leave the main event till the end.
Okay. All right. So Jeff and Matt Hardy. This one's just up in the air for me. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm just looking forward to the match.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy. I think this will affect Broken Matt even more. I think he'll be even more broken and more shattered, and he's gonna have to see a psychiatrist afterwards. So I'm gonna go with Jeff, but I'm so pumped for this match.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be one of the best matches, probably the best match of the night. I'm gonna go with It's interesting. It really is. Matt could win and then become normal Matt again. Because I don't know if he should stay this broken character. I like it, but I loved Matt Hardy when he was Big Money Matt, that egotistical heel. I thought he was very funny. I can't see either men winning this. If anyone, I just see, I don't know, because I don't want Jeff Hardy to win. I want Matt Hardy to win. But I think Jeff Hardy will probably win, like you said.
The question is, are you a Jeff Hardy guy or are you a Matt Hardy guy?
Matt Hardy.
Oh, okay. That's refreshing.
Yeah. No, I've been Jeff Hardy my entire life, really. But as you get older, you start to see that Matt Hardy. Now, I delved into a podcast with Bubba Ray Dudley. And Bubba Ray said, basically, when we went to, it was also Christian or Edge was on a Stone Cold podcast. He mentioned that, he said, and Bubba Ray said it as well, he said, we used to have tag team meetings before these TLC matches. Bubba would represent Dudley's. Edge and Christian would go together as a cohesive unit, and Matt would go to represent the Hardys. So Matt would go to all those meetings. And as I got older, I started to realize how much Matt did for the Hardy Boys and how much it went unrecognized. And I also just noticed how he has played more characters than just the charismatic enigma. Not to take anything away from Jeff Hardy. I've just seen Matt Hardy do it all when he was with Shannon Moore in the Cruiserweight division. When he feuded with Edge and Lita. This Matt Hardy, I don't know, broken Matt Hardy, I guess. I think Matt Hardy just has a lot more personalities than, I feel like Jeff Hardy has been doing the face paint and the Daredevil stuff for so long that he couldn't really play other roles the way Matt does, just because Jeff Hardy has that soul identity. And Jeff Hardy's amazing. I think Jeff Hardy has had more career-defining moments with all the leaps and crazy stuff he's done. But I think Matt Hardy overall is my favorite. Who would you go with?
I don't know. I kind of like them both equally. I don't know. I don't have favorites. I can't choose. But I feel like Matt Hardy doesn't really get much credit. And everyone always is more with Jeff than Matt. But I think they both bring a lot to the table, and I just love them both, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Seeing Matt not get the credit makes me even like him more, because I usually like those underdogs.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. So, Galloway versus Lashley. Who do you think wins this one? I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the Destroyer, Lashley. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna get that spear, and yeah, he's gonna knock out Drew. And I'd like to see Lashley as our champ again. I think he has so much more fire in him. And I think he's really comfortable in his character, and he's doing great on the mic too. So I'm gonna go with Lashley.
I'd go with Galloway. So basically, I think I've had all of the champions defending successfully. Decay, Drake, knockouts. Yeah. And you've had a couple of title changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say Galloway wins. Once again, it's like the whole, it's the same thing as Jade, pretty much. I just feel like we haven't seen the best of Drew Galloway with the world title. I feel like we haven't seen the best of Jade, Eli Drake with the title, because since winning the title, each one of these title holders has only been involved in one feud, and that's their competitor for Slammiversary. They haven't faced anyone else for the title. So I think there's so much more to be done than to just, okay, you had your one feud, now you lose the title. Back of the line.
No, I totally agree with you. But yeah, I'm excited to see this match.
Me too. Me too. It's going to be a very good match. See, the weird thing with TNA too is like I'm going to pay $40 to watch it.
Yeah, and you want it to be, you know, pay-per-view quality, right?
$9.99. I mean, I could pay for the network, but honestly, I have no problem putting money into this company. I support it fully, and I love TNA, so
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. Also, another thing I noticed, Google Hangouts, huh? Because if you guys didn't know, to all the Stack Card viewers and nonstop, is it Sharia or Sharia?
Sharia.
Sharia.
I think it's just the way I say it. It's Sharia.
Sharia. Okay. For all you viewers, or the one viewer that's left,
Shout out to the one viewer. We love you.
Yeah, God bless them having how long is see that's what I don't like about Google Hangouts is they don't give you a timer.
I think you probably can see the time. I can't, but
no, I don't have a time. Okay. Shout out to the one viewer that just left us.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't give me a timer.
No?
No. I mean, and that's the thing. I just talk for days and days and days. And this is the great thing about the Stack Hard podcast, because me and Kevin usually discuss all of our business on air. So if I think like, yeah, I just talk a lot and stuff, just come out and say it basically. Yeah, as you can tell, and as the few viewers we had know, I don't know. We could have been going for what, 2 hours maybe?
Or the 8-hour time limit that we have.
Yeah, there is well, at least there's an 8-hour time limit, so we can't go past the 2 hours, the 8 hours that we have. But yeah, I think we started around 1:50, so it's been a good hour and 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, it's probably the longest show that I've done, because I think the longest I've ever done is just an hour, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It was great. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, well, thanks for, coexisting with us, here at the Stack Hut. It was fun, And also,
Hangouts works.
Yeah, now I know how Google Hangouts works. You showed me everything I need to know about it. So now doing interviews will not be as difficult. And yeah, so this will be cool. I can't wait to get this up. And I think it was really nice just to talk to somebody about TNA and address many issues that hasn't been addressed by a lot of people.
Yeah. There's not many loyal TNA fans, and there's not much people spreading positivity about the company. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we went through it all here basically. We went through This Week in TNA, current TNA, old school TNA. We went through like the 3 biggest things they could do to improve, like from a business and marketing standpoint. I mean, we went into all different perspectives, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'll let you go. And I just hit stop broadcast, right?
Yep, you do.
Cool. And when I stop the broadcast, are we going to stop?
We will still be here.
We'll still be here. Okay.
Yep.
So I guess I'll say my goodbye to
everyone who's watching.
Yeah, all the fans, because now we're up to like 6 million viewers, right?
Oh, wow. We just hit our record.
Yeah. People on Twitter are blowing up. This is insane. So yeah, I mean, thanks to everyone that watched. We certainly enjoy it. And yeah, that's it. We're out.
Yeah.
See you later.